Hello to my tenor friends. Let's learn a song together. Today we're going to do LDS hymn number 58, Come Ye Children of the Lord. This is not a very hard song. I am confident that you can do this. We are going to go through all three verses together on the tenor part, plunk it out on the piano, sing it together, no big deal. By the end of verse 3, you'll probably have a pretty good feel of how that feels. And then we'll go in and make it a little more difficult. But let's just focus on the first three verses. So here we go. Here is your note. We're in the key of F. So you start up here. Come, ye children of the Lord, let us sing with one accord. Let us raise a joyful strain to our Lord, who soon will reign on this earth, when it shall be cleansed from all iniquity, when all men from sin will cease, and will live in love and peace. Oh, how joyful it will be when our Savior we shall see, when in splendor he'll descend, then all wickedness will end. Oh, what songs we then will sing to our Savior, Lord and King. Oh, what love will then bear sway, when our fear shall flee away. All arrayed in spotless white, we will dwell mid truth and light. We will sing the songs of praise, we will shout in joyous lays. Earth shall then be cleansed from sin, every living thing therein shall in love and beauty dwell, then with joy each heart will swell. Okay, there you have it. Not too hard. If you did find it a little bit hard, you can slow it down in the settings. You can slow the video down a little bit and make it slow. And if you're like, Rachel, that was really hard. I don't know what you're talking about, but it was hard. Guess what? Just go practice it again and again and again, and no one will ever know how hard it was for you. And when you show up to choir, you're like, oh yeah, that was easy, right? I just caught that the first time I tried it. All right, we are now going to level you up, all the way up, so that when you show up to choir practice, you're going to be on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an instrumental introduction, and we're going to come in together on the tenor part. I'm going to sing with you, first verse, just what we did just now, just adding the accompaniment part. Then on the second verse, I'm going to stop singing, and you will see if you can pick out those notes on your own. This will show you where your weak spots are, and if you find that you had several weak spots, just go back to verse 1 and practice it again, and then come back to verse 2 when you feel like you're ready. Then verse 3 is where the real trick comes. I'm going to come in on the soprano part, and you and I are going to sing a duet. Now you'll still have the instrumental part underneath, so no problem. You should be able to pick it out, but it will be a little bit harder. It will be throwing you off, which is totally fine. If you feel uncomfortable there, just go back to verse 1 and 2 and practice those real hard, and then try again on verse 3. You're gonna get this. Children of the Lord, let us sing with one accord. Let us raise a joyful strain to our Lord, who soon will reign on this earth, when it shall be cleansed from all iniquity, when all men from sin will cease, did that go? A little trickier than you thought maybe on the third verse. But I bet you had the third verse or the first verse down pretty well. And you can always go back and just repeat those 3 verses. That sequence, verse 1, 2, and 3, will really help you practice and learn this part. Now, if you get comfortable with verse 1, then you are good to sing in a choir. You will be a valuable asset to that choir and you can contribute. If you can move on to verse 2 and 3, then you will be a leader in your tenor section, which is so important. We always need leaders in the tenor section, and other tenors will follow you, and that is important as well. So feel good about that, but if you can only get to verse 1, then that's great. Now, if that felt pretty good and you're still up for another challenge, next is our a cappella challenge. Now this is just, we're pushing ourselves, we're leveling ourselves up, we're challenging ourselves so that when we eventually come to choir practice and we're just singing our part with a whole bunch of other people, we're like, this is easy, I can totally do this, but it only comes if you push yourself and practice the hard stuff. So the a cappella challenge is the hard stuff. What we're gonna do, verse 1, I am going to sing the soprano part, but I'm going to plunk out your tenor part on the piano. So you'll be able to hear where you're coming in and learn to follow the piano, listen to the piano, but hear against me too. And then verse 2 is when the real challenge comes. I'm letting the piano go, just you and me. We're gonna sing a duet, and then you will really know how well you know this part. You'll know where your weak spots are, and you'll know what to go back and practice again. So don't be afraid. Just try it. What's the worst that can happen? No one else is around. They can't see you, and they will never know how many times you watch this video to get to that point. So don't stress. Just try it. And then when you come to choir, you'll be awesome. Okay, here's your note. Come, ye children of the Lord, let us sing with one accord. Let us raise a joyful strain to our Lord who soon will reign. On this earth where it shall be, cleansed from all iniquity, when all men from sin will cease, and will live in love and peace. Okay, ready for the second verse? Here we go. All right, here's your note, second verse. Oh, joyful it will be when our Savior we shall see, when in splendor he'll descend, then all wickedness will end. Oh, what songs we then will sing to our Savior, Lord and King. Oh, what love will then bear sway when our fears shall flee away. Keep practicing. You can do this.